Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Relume live stream, and it is so good to be back again with the whole team. Let me cut the music here. All right, so today we have a packed episode. So first announcement: it is my privilege and honor to bring this episode to you not just as a guest host anymore, but as an official member of Team Relume. So thank you so much, Adam, Dan, Slater, for the opportunity. It's good to be part of the team. So, right
Yeah,
on.
it's good to have you, Josh.
Right.
All right.
We're looking.
Yeah. So, all right. So the Relume Library has a big update coming around the corner, and we want to unpack in this stream. So here's our agenda. We are gonna just kind of go over the new features, why we built it. We're gonna showcase possible use cases in the live demo. And then also we're going to give you a little peek behind the curtain on how we built it. So who is this episode for? It's for everyone who uses Relume Library. All the power users, the freelancers, HC owners, the community builders. So before we start, let's welcome the crowd. All right. Who do we have here? We got Tony. Welcome. Kevin. Christian. We got Joel Whitaker. Jeremy's in the house. Eric, welcome back, champ. Sean Duvall.
Hey, champ.
We have Frank. Scott Humphrey, good to see you. All right, we got a lot of people. Vlad, Rob, Gareth. Good to see you,
nice
Gareth.
turnout.
Yeah, really good. People
Thanks
are
for
excited.
coming, guys.
All right, so let's see. I'm just looking at the agenda here. Right. So let us know how many months you guys have been using Relume for. Be curious to know how long you've been implementing that into your workflow. Okay, so we're just gonna dive right into it. Adam, you want to introduce us with the major update?
Let's do it. Do we want to transition?
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Cool. So Josh has already mentioned the agenda for today. I'm going to start off with what is libraries? What is Relume 2.0? So let's get into it. So essentially what libraries is, it's a new feature on the Relume platform that enables you to create your own custom component libraries or components. And you can store those components on the Relume library in folders, and then you can copy them into any Webflow project, and you can also share them with others. So this is now an additional feature that works parallel to what we've built already with the Relume library. So nothing will be changing in terms of how you currently use the Relume components. They will still be there in the same place, and we will still continue to build upon that library. In fact, we're growing our team, the component team, and we'll be committing to that more than ever now. So we'll be continuing to build that out. It's just now you can take those components, tweak them to suit yourself, or even style them to adapt to a particular brand aesthetic or however you want to style them. And then you can save those in the Relume library and access them whenever you need. So I'm going to basically show you how it works at a very high level, and then we're going to jump into some of the use cases where we'll actually show you the live product in action. But at a very high level, this is how it works. So basically, we create a component, and you'll see that there's a new button that is added to the top of the nav bar. So you click that. So to create a component, you then do that, click it. Next slide. You can then copy a component from your Webflow project and paste it into the Relume library, and you'll be able to copy multiple at once so that you could just sort of go through the list and add them, and then you'll be able to then save the component to a folder. You'll be able to add a name for it. You'll be able to add a thumbnail and save it to your library inside of a folder. And then basically this is what the folder will look like. So next slide, Josh. So the folder will appear in your library. And then, so this is sort of what your library section will look like. It'll have your folders and your components. And then this is what the folder looks like. So next slide. So this is what a folder looks like. And so from a folder here, you can actually go ahead and you can share this folder with anyone. You can share that publicly or privately. So next slide, Josh.
Okay.
Yeah. So here you'll be able to share it basically to the community, which is publicly, or privately to an individual. And so now we're going to sort of jump into some use cases as to how we think you could use it. But we also understand that this is a pretty, I guess, it's a feature. We're pretty early to it. We don't really know how people are going to use it. So there are many ways that we're still hearing about that are interesting, but we'll provide you with some ideas on how we see this being used. But just in addition, we'll be launching this on Product Hunt next Monday, which will be the 1st of August 2022. So it's not out yet, but we will be releasing this at the start of next week. So it'd be great if you guys could help us with an upvote if you like what you see here. Yeah, let's. It says 2020, but it's actually 2022. We don't have a time machine.
It's the beauty of live stream. All right. Fantastic.
Yeah. So
Really,
now
really
I think
cool.
Slater's going to take you through the first use case. Oh no, Dan's going to take us
No.
through. Sorry, why we built this.
So, yeah. So look, as you guys have known before, and like how we kind of like to do things, we build things based on the insights that we got. So first and foremost, the Relume Library was built based on the fact that we had insights of being an agency, and we're repeating and building using components. Now, a couple of reasons why we built this is firstly from the roster, again, based on insights that we have from the personas that we work in our agency. So there's three types of personas that we've experienced. There's the persona of the person who's completely hands-off. So like the service-based client, you might be building for the plumber, the accountant, the lawyer. They don't really care. This is not for them. This is something that they don't necessarily want to control manage their website. Then there's B, the persona that works with the CMS, has the ability to like make some changes for a blog post, a feature section, a case study, but not necessarily diving deep. What we've experienced from the roster and the agency is the persona C. So persona C is the client that's a little bit more hands-on, right? So this client really wants to own the site. So they'll come to us and say, hey, we want to build a website, build it for us, but now we want to spin off landing pages, campaign pages. We want to do A/B testing. So this client that we've built for, or that we've seen working with, they want to have a little bit more control, and they want to have a little bit more speed when it comes to updating. Like they want that cadence of like literally an hour. So it's more of the marketing team, the founder, co-founder of a tech company. So that's the type of persona that we've been working with and seeing. Okay, cool. Well, do you know what? The library will work perfectly for your scenario, because we can create a set of components to then enable you to have that cadence of just adding in, making pages in half a day. Now, let me stress the fact that we also fully understand repeat work, right? And this is a big part of how we make money from returning clients. So this is not taking away from the bigger projects. This is focusing more on, okay, we don't necessarily need to be caught up with the small stuff, because the profit margins on it is not that good from our experiences. So it's those one-off projects are great if it's a new page, like a new About Us section, which hasn't been built before. But we believe that these components, for the persona C, will help speed up the process for the client. Means you are less hands-on, put more money into bigger one-off projects, which allow them to, allow you guys to still continue to make money of repeat work. Now, we are also exploring ways of like making this some way of you to build for a component library. So like still exploring, but yeah, this is just the type of components that we've worked with. we've put components all into a page. The guys will go through that in use cases. But yeah, that's from that. And I guess our other experience, why we built this, is that we also built the Relume Library. And that is something that we have seen the experience of, like, bringing value, right? So the fact that we can bring value to the community with a component library, we've seen that firsthand. So that's why we thought, okay, well, the other side of this is that more focusing on the community. Why we built this is that we feel like that, yeah, if someone in the community wants to create a component library, we believe that this could be the best way to do it, and empower them to do it easily.
That's going to be so big. That's awesome. Really cool. Okay. So should we jump right into the demos?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
All right.
Sweet. So the first use case is all about the personal use case. So the way which I would use this is, as I'm working on projects, I would kind of copy and save elements as I'm working, and I would put them into the library. So I guess the main reason I'd do this is sometimes if you're working on something, you kind of think like, oh, that was a really nice nav bar I made on that site. I kind of want something very similar to that. Obviously, we'll change the styling and such, but it's really good to just copy and paste that, so you've always got it in one spot, which is really nice. So the other thing is, occasionally when I'm working in a site, there'll be a few things which I know I'll use on different pages, but it's kind of painful clicking between the different pages because Webflow kind of has to load the entire website and the editor for it. That just takes a while to load. So the idea is this is all in one place, and it's really easy to copy and paste and just move off it there. And then the other major thing is it makes it really easy to share with a team if you're working with a group of people. So for example, if you are working on a project with one or two other people, you can always just paste things inside here, and then you can allow them to use it on their side as well. So yeah, I think over to the next use case.
Whoa. Hang on, Adam. You are muted.
Case number 2,
Okay.
which we're calling use case number 2, high value clients, which is it's a lot of what Dan was explaining. We know that these higher value clients that are more tech savvy, that have these marketing teams, they want more control in Webflow. That's why they're coming to Webflow, because Webflow enables that. Now, what's currently happening, and when we work with clients, this is just our experience, but when we work with clients, we'll give them like a page of components inside of a project. So I'll just show you what like a typical page would look like on Webflow. So basically we have like a project here that we've built for a client, and then we have like basically a page of like a bunch of components. So if they wish to build like a new landing page or extend on it, we can give them a set of components that are existing, and they love this, right? But the pain point of this whole experience is that it's super slow to basically jump between pages. So if I were to use this, I would have to, click the section, go to the new page, paste it, go back to the other page, and that's just not ideal. Another thing is that when storing lots of components on a single page, that page can become quite chaotic and hard to discover, and components can be hard to discover. So we believe that a much cleaner solution would be to create a component folder for them, just like you do on Relume Library. And you can access this folder and basically find what you need and copy these components into the project. So I could go ahead, copy that, and basically start building out the page. It's just a much nicer experience. So also in addition, once you've handed over the project, you can manage the client's components from the Relume library. Instead of having to log back into their account or updating it there, you can have a copy of the components on your side of things, and you can update that inside of the Relume library. So you can go ahead and you can edit that component, and you can just update it and copy and paste the new version into that and save. So that is also an added benefit. So basically, the benefit of this when working with these clients is that it's faster workflows, it's automatic updates, it's better experience for your clients, and taking components that were styled for the clients and like delivering them in a very clean folder it just looks good on you. It's a great way to present, these presents the work that you've done. And we also are exploring ways of white labeling this so that you can add your own logo and your own branding to the folders so that they do feel like your agency's brand. So that's essentially the use case 2 that we've come up with and have started to test internally with our clients.
Nice. Really good.
And then use case 3, which is super exciting, is the community showcase, right? So showcasing your own personal component library. So we're big believers that there are many ways to build a component library, and there are like many components to build. And shout out to the component libraries that have come before us, like Flowbase and System Flow. We're not the only ones to have done this. And we were able to bring our own flavor, I guess, to components. But we believe there's going to be much more creators in the future that will bring their own angles and flavors to the component ecosystem. That is just going to make that a much better ecosystem. So this is our chance to sort of help you come together and help create like a community effort when it comes to building components. And so I just want to also reiterate that, like, when you think of libraries, you might think, we have to provide like 500 plus components. Like, look at Relume Library, they have like 800 components, but that's actually not necessarily the case. Quality, when it comes to components, quality is more important than quantity. For example, our uncommon components that we've released, they are a huge proportion of the amount of copies that we get. So it just goes to show that like one component, for example, our timeline component, can actually impact thousands of developers and save a lot of time for these people. So just that one good component can really make a difference. So yeah, it doesn't need to be a fully fleshed out complete library. It can just be that one component. And so that's pretty exciting.
So Christian said,
yeah.
He said, now we can build things that we ask for in Slack and share it with the community.
100%,
That's right.
exactly.
That's right.
And we've always wanted to do this. And we just feel like this is the right way of going about it. Now, we do have a surprise community made library. We're going to be revealing the first ever community made component library. And so let's just drum roll that. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Boom.
All right. Introducing you to our first ever community made component library by Jordan Hughes from Untitled UI.
Hey. This is huge, guys. This is huge.
So yeah, you guys, everyone that is using the Relume library will have access to this component library.
So good.
Jordan has gone ahead and created this library. I'll just show you what this library looks like on my screen. But I've basically added it to my library so I can access it. But here it is. We have it here, and I can begin to copy and paste. I think there's 275 components here. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And so they've been grouped by types of components. So yeah, bunch of new footers, bunch of new nav bars, fact sections, designed by Jordan in collaboration. We built this in collaboration. So it's client first. And it fits into the Relume library quite well as well. So yeah, that's going to be the first community made component library, and will be a part of our launch on Monday.
Awesome. So good.
Also, I just want to add sort of as well that, like, in terms of these use cases we've mentioned, there are use cases out there that we're not sure about yet, because this is a relatively new idea, and we just don't know what possibilities are out there yet. But we've already heard some stories just from, like, I guess, taking some people through it. Like, an example was education. So people using it to, like, teach a course. They have like a set of components and they're sharing that in a folder. Another one is like team sharing. So if you have a team, you can share components amongst each other. And also, as Christian mentioned, like community sharing. So if someone has a component that fills the gap of what we're doing, then they can share that as well in the Slack channel. So yeah, it's really, really exciting to see.
Still early days.
What else?
It's still early days.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very early days. And like Adam's saying, we're still so keen to see how this can be explored. Intentionally, we've kept it very, I guess, open for people to create different use cases for it, and even extending on that, who knows what the future could be for components and how we build. I'm personally obviously more on the marketing automation side, so I know there's going to be a lot of things that open up opportunities for different types of assets that we can be hosting in your libraries, and that's it. That's also an exciting part. So yeah, it's still really early days, and I'm just super keen to see how it gets implemented and how we can improve it as well in the future.
Nice. Unreal, boys. What Connor said. So good. Good to see you, Connor. And yeah, Joel says this is exactly what I need as someone who doesn't design. Totally. I mean, this is going to be a huge resource, and we're just opening up to the community and going to let you guys, own it up and just share. It's going to be really exciting.
Another thing,
go ahead.
just another thing, just based on what Joel just said, is that, so what we've focused on is like these unstyled components, because that fits the use case of what we're trying to do. But we also feel like this is an opportunity for the community to take what we've done and like actually add that like added layer of styling and then share that. So we don't intend on creating our own styled components in the future. We actually hope that the community can bring that and help non-designers build really beautiful websites. So yeah, that's also another exciting part.
That's really good. All right, guys, if you have a lot of questions, just make sure you write a capital Q, and then I'll be able to easily search it. So we're going to keep going on with our presentation here and have Slater talk about how we built this and using Webflow as a front end.
So with this, we took a bit of a different approach. We decided that, like, we use Webflow a lot. We feel like we're pretty good at it. So we wanted to keep using it here. And currently there are a few different ways you can use Webflow as a front end, but they didn't really fit our use case as well. So I guess the traditional way that the developer-designer relationship normally works is when designing a website, a designer will kind of do all of their design things and then hand the developer like a Figma file or something similar. Mm-hmm. Then the developer kind of goes through, implements it, and then the designer will look at it again, request changes, and often they're reasonable changes. Sometimes, though, the developer will be like, does it really matter if like this is like a couple of pixels off? And I think sometimes like developers also have a lot of work, so it'll take a while. And like you just end up with this not ideal situation because you can't just make changes very easily. And if you can't make changes easily, you don't end up polishing the product as much as you'd like. And obviously we've got Adam. He's an absolute gun. So we want to use him as much as possible. So basically, so that's how it looks like normally. So with Webflow, basically the way that we've designed it is Adam designs the website. I kind of go in and change things. And then the idea is once it's all wired up, Adam can go in and make changes. Admittedly, it's not like he can change the whole website and it'll still work. But there are a few, basically we tag elements in a certain way. So for example, if there's a folder name, he'll add a specific class to it. So that class might be like HL-folder name. And then if that's inside a certain modal, I then know to wire it up so that it then gets replaced with that certain information. So what this ends up with is a really nice situation where Adam can kind of go away, design lots of stuff. Like we'll come together then, make sure it's doing exactly what we want it to do, and then at the end of it, he can change it again. So it's a really good really good flow like that.
Nice. Really
Yeah.
cool.
And and then I guess the only other thing is like there are some states which you can then add. So he might add like a disabled state or something like that, and then like in certain cases, I would then wire it up to make it a disabled state. And then so that then communicates with a Python backend, and then that's all implemented in JavaScript. But yeah, it allows us to get the flexibility, but also all the power that we wanted. So worked out to be a good solution, and there'll probably be more videos on specifically how that works coming.
And the
So,
CMS limits as well, which is one of the biggest
Yeah.
limitations. Obviously, with Webflow, we know it's the 10,000, so that also helped us work around that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that was one of the main reasons why we didn't go with Webflow. Why we did actually decide to use code for a lot of this. Yeah, the reality is we'd be very upset if you guys could only make 10,000 components, all of you. Like that's just not enough. We know you guys are going to be doing more. So we've removed the shackles, no limitations.
Yeah, go crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, will Relume approve user libraries? Wondering if there would be any quality control for libraries that are uploaded.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be working on promoting the libraries that we feel are solid. So we'll eventually, right now we don't have this, but we'll eventually be introducing a feed of libraries that we have approved and filtered through. But just want to keep in mind that the libraries part of our product is going to be separate from the Relume components. So the Relume components is going to be built and managed by the Relume team. And then we're going to have like the community components separately for now, displayed through a feed to discover these libraries, and also like your actual library where you can add these ones that you find to your own library. So, but back to like just the point around like why we decided to build with using Webflow. And I can even show you like sort of how we set up our Webflow project.
Yeah.
But just for full transparency, essentially, just to paint like a clearer picture for people is that, I'm able to, as a designer, build out these components, or I guess the UI, and have a lot of control on how that is presented. And that's game changing for me, because in the past, as Slater was mentioning, it's always been, I guess, a struggle to I guess get what I want in my head fully fleshed out by the developer, because the developer is usually very focused on building, like, he has a long list of things to do in the back end. And when it comes to front end, yes, you can work with a front end developer, but it's just not as easy as Webflow. So I guess, the speed at which we can build a front end and iterate is awesome. So like, for example, if I wanted to change the what this word says, right? Add new. If I wanted to change the language around that, I could just do that, press publish, and I have full control of the front end, and it's going to continue working. And that's just something like a minor change that traditionally I would have to like ask the developer, log it, and then the developer would have to like do it for me. Whereas I can just do that now, and that's just like a very small example. But those types of things compound, and it's really awesome. So that's essentially how we've built it, and then Slater wires it up with JavaScript, and he connects it to our own database.
But one thing to add on top of that, lastly, because I know this is like obviously not so much about the libraries, but it's just more of like another potential futures. Like, this is unlocking. So like obviously the majority of us, we're all building marketing pages, right, for companies. But what this could do, and what this like is starting to shape up, is that it's unlocking the potential for you guys as designers to then also have the ability to start designing and building product within Webflow. And that's, like Adam said, game changing, but also adds another bow, another like skill set to what you can do as a designer in Webflow. And that's pretty powerful, right? And we will always probably still continue to build marketing pages as our main source of revenue. But from an agency side of business, I think it's pretty cool to have the ability to now have that as something in the future that we can do.
Yeah.
Obviously, Webflow is with Logic and other things like that. But this is a cool path towards that.
Yeah, I think Webflow is heading in that direction. Providing more power to the creator, for sure, and it's just super exciting. So yeah, we're hyped about the fact that we built this new feature still using Webflow, because the Relume Library original V1, that's built entirely no code. So we used JetBoost, MemberStack, Noble, Airtable, Zapier. We use like just a completely no-code stack for the library, and that served us well. But as we started to want to build out upon it, we've had to find something a little bit more powerful from like a back-end perspective. And so it was really nice to still sort of remain on Webflow and keep that experience centralized, which is
and speed,
which is cool.
Yeah, it's fast.
And so, of course, it's very fast.
Yeah. Brian said, best part of this, Relume is proving how it's possible for one to design directly in Webflow. Definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
That's great. And it's just the beginning, because I think once Logic is released, it's gonna have way more capabilities. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
MemberStack did the same thing.
Oh, nice.
That's mad. I didn't know that.
MemberStack dashboard.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Webflow. Oh wow.
Very cool.
Okay. All right, guys. I think, is there anything else? No, that's it for the use cases. So any other questions, guys? We're gonna open it up for Q&A. So, let's see here. I think Christian said, will the profiles be public like components showcase?
Will the profile be public?
Well, yeah. So not initially, but we're planning on like adding the ability to do that later on. So I imagine by profile you mean like your face and like a little description and stuff. What we do have is you can easily create a folder which is specifically your folders, and then you can share that with the world. So then so it's the very short term solution to it, but yeah, we'll get there soon.
Okay. Can we sell our personal libraries?
Yes, Connor, this is definitely something, like if we get more feedback on this, we'll probably organize time to chat, but like, the more feedback we get on this, the more we're going to explore ways of opening up billing so you guys can charge. Definitely. I think, obviously experience from the Relume library, we've seen that, if you create something valuable enough, people will pay for it. So this is definitely something we want to open up.
Awesome. All right. How does Figma play into this?
You tell us how, Chris.
We've seen things. I guess, but we've seen people create component libraries for Figma. We're still exploring how that sort of fits into the workflow. Storing Figma components could be a thing. We don't know yet. We need to look into that a little bit more. But yeah, we're very open to learning more about how Figma does play into this. So yeah, that it's we don't have an answer. We're learning about it. We're figuring it out as we go.
Okay. Will we be able to save fun pages as well?
I think it's full pages.
Full pages.
So with this, the way that you do it currently is you would take like the page wrapper element and you'd copy and paste that out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
it can be you can do like the littlest, tiniest thing, or you can do like a full page.
Awesome. And like, can you guys share on how this will actually affect even product designers? Because, usually for Webflow, it's more like marketing design and things like that. But now we are allowing people the ability to, build their own component library, their own almost like design system. Yeah, that's going to be huge. Like how do you see that, like, yeah, improving like possible product designers designing in Webflow?
Yeah, I actually think this way of like building component libraries, the way a product designer thinks about a product is very helpful
Mm-hmm.
to building like a good component library, because you sort of need to think about how people are going to use the components that you're building. So from a creator perspective, I think product designers will have a good opportunity here to create very useful component libraries and design systems for clients or for the community. So yeah, if I would, yeah, that's sort of what comes to mind when you ask that question.
Nice. Welcome, Melissa. Hey, Pierre. Good to see you. Okay, Steven asks, will Relume Library be updated to client first version 2?
Yes, it will, of course. We're working with FinSuite on aligning our components with V2 and with folders as well. So yeah, we work closely with FinSuite to make sure that our components are as aligned as possible, and we'll continue to do that because yeah, we're big advocates for client first.
Mm-hmm. And there might be possible collaborations in the future. So stay tuned for that. Okay, sorry, I just jumped in, but is there a plan to speed up styling large projects?
So I guess styling large projects, as in like what exactly are we referring to here? Is it like just having more control of styling at a global level? If that's what you mean, that
From style guide?
yeah, that
Yeah, probably.
if it's that, let's just assume that that's what it is. That's what Christian's asking, and feel free to clarify. But if that is the case, then there are things that we are exploring around like class synchronization, being able to copy and paste a component into an existing project and then have that component adapt to the styling and the classes in that project. So it would inherit like the updated button class or the typography classes, and so it would feel very much like the existing project. So that's one way, I guess, of styling for large projects. Another way is that like creating some more global styling classes. However, that does sort of go against client first philosophy of custom classes. So we'd need to think about how to best approach that. But yeah, it's an ongoing, I guess, an ongoing thing where we're constantly thinking of ways that we can help people style more efficiently.
Very cool. All right. If you copy and paste in a number of components is the fastest way to style a website using this style.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. Yes, it is. So you can style like the typography, like the button classes, the color classes, but the actual components have a lot of custom classes. So that means that you can't necessarily control that at a global level. You have to go specifically to that component and style it there. And that's intentional because that just enables you to keep your Webflow projects much more organized. If everything was global and you could control it fully via the style guide, it would be very hard to manage because you might change something on a component and it can impact like a lot of other components, and then it becomes quite difficult to manage that particular project because one change can impact things that you're not even aware of.
this is going to be really good because I think it's going to force people to really think systematically in the design systems, and as they share and other people are like downloading it and trying it out, it really makes them follow like the client first standard and all that stuff too, right? It's like having a common language. I wonder, would it be a good idea to have these community libraries be voted by the community. Kind of
Yeah.
using this
In
Voted
terms of what to build,
like upvote on like
for sure.
top libraries, things like
Yeah.
that, you know.
That's the plan for the fee. It's gonna be like some kind of a way of
community.
prioritizing based on like what people like and use. Like so, but yeah, we could also in the time like prior to that, we could collect like some of our favorite component libraries and get people to upvote them on like a leaderboard or something. That could be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions, guys? We wanted to open up the whole episode just to field any questions you may have on this.
Do we want to address the whole what happens if you're because no one seemed to ask what happens to existing users? Will they be able to use this, etc.?
Yeah. Let's answer that.
Yeah. So essentially, we will be changing our pricing plans for this, and we will be basically everyone that's signed up to the Relume library that is an existing customer. Pricing will not change for you. You will be moved to our plan that enables you to access everything basically. So all Untitled UI components, all Relume components, and you can start to build and create your own component libraries. We will have a tier for like to give you a little bit more control and power over like building your own libraries if you want to take that more seriously and you want to start building more component libraries. We will have like a separate plan that you can upgrade to, but we are also introducing a free plan for basically a free plan forever. So it won't be 7-day free trial. It'll be free forever. And that will be a subset of Relume library components. And you'll also be able to copy and paste unlimited amounts of shared components. So we've created this plan so that anyone can come in and start using the Relume components and start building their own component libraries and also start using the ones that have been shared to them. So your clients won't need to pay for a Relume library account to access the components that you share to them.
Huge. Really big.
Yeah. So we've really tried to think about the flow of like, I guess, sharing with clients and also the community and enabling them to view that.
Adam, would you be able to share that? I think the option, like the share screen option. I think when you're in the new mode and you're sharing like a library, just like anyways, it's very similar to.
Sure.
Yeah. Just we give people. Guys, swap it over. Okay.
Yeah, so I can even sort of go through how I would approach the whole share side of things.
Yeah.
So I'll show you like an end-to-end, me sharing this with a client, right? So I've created this component folder for client Airtree, right? They have like a list of components that they can use. Okay, so I would go ahead and I would share. So I've already shared it with them, right? So I've said basically I've added airtreevc@gmail. This is a made-up email, but I've said that they can copy. So I could actually change that to they can edit, copy, and change permissions. I can change that to they can edit. So they can actually edit the components themselves, update them, change the thumbnail, change the folder that it's in, etc. They can just copy. So all they have access to is the ability to copy, which to be honest, I think for most clients, you probably want this. And then they can just view. So let's imagine that you just want to preview, hey, to the client, hey, this is the component library. And so that they can just get a preview of some of the components. Then you can just set it to view. I can also just remove them if I wish to do that. So I've already added Airtree VC, but that's pending. They haven't accepted that invite yet. So I'll log into Airtree and I'll show you what that looks like for them. But also we have the ability to share to the community. So you can toggle that on or off.
Nice.
So you can share that, and that basically makes things public. So anyone with this link that I copy can view this now. And then you can also toggle on whether you want people to be able to copy the components and also duplicate them. So basically, you can take an entire folder and duplicate a copy and then iterate on those components yourself. Or you can just add a link to that folder, and that folder is like the source of truth that the developer will be updating. So really, it just depends on what the developer wants to do here. And then allowing people to actually edit as well. So that's the whole share modal. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like once I've shared this folder with a client. So what I can do is I'll go and log into Airtree. So just log out, and I can't access this folder anymore because it's private. And then I'll just
Don't worry, hiding the screen. Okay, so logged in, punched in the
So I've
credentials.
logged into Airtree. I'll go back to your library just sort of to show like what Airtree would see. And so now Airtree sees, that the folder has been added, and so they will be basically they'll have access to it. Cool. All right, sweet. I'm in the folder. I can now start copying the components and say if I'm Airtree, I just go to my Airtree project, and I can just begin pasting those in.
That's so good.
And start using them.
Too easy. And so if they have editing capabilities and they have a team, then if they want to change anything here, they can just go ahead and do that.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. Real cool. Melissa's saying, wow, guys, this is crazy. Zika says, wow. Pierre says, ooh, that is nice. Something else. That's great, guys. Yeah, really exciting stuff. That's what we wanted to share with you guys. So we're excited. New prices will apply. Oh, where did my screen go? There you go. There's a lot going on. Love live stream. So yeah, go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say, just to Ezekiel's question, no, like the client doesn't need, so a client can sign up. So if you share your library to the client, they don't need to pay for it. It's free.
Mm-hmm. So that's that free tier, that free account. They do need to create their own account.
Yeah. You need to create an account, but they don't pay.
So the new pricing structure, there's three type of memberships. There's a free one, there's a starter, I believe, right? And then there's a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starter, and like Adam was saying, we'll be increasing pricing, but everyone who's an existing Luma or paying for a subscription now, that won't change. And this will count all the way up until Monday. So if you sign up for Relume,
sign up today.
This is like, get it now, it goes up. But you will keep that rate. So if you sign up today, you'll keep that rate. And also, if you do cancel your membership, then you have to pay the new rate. So I guess like you said, we wanted to keep this for everyone who's already supported us from the start. We want to make sure that we're giving you all the new features because you were there from the beginning. Moving forward, I guess we've increased pricings, but I think like you guys have seen, we've increased a significant amount of value when it comes to since we've launched last time, number of components, putting in community folders like Untitled, and also building this whole new feature of sharing libraries. So yeah, we're growing the company, and I feel like this. I guess we're at that time where I think at the point where we've added all these features in, and we're excited to launch it.
So good. All right, Kyle, launching Monday Australian time or US time? Okay, it's gonna launch midnight.
Monday 5 p.m.
Monday 5 p.m. Australian time, right? So
AST, which is PT 12 a.m. Monday.
Right. So if you're in the States in Pacific time, it'll be midnight Monday. So basically the start of the week, that's going to launch. And then if you're in Eastern time, 3 a.m. So basically as you're sleeping, it's all these big changes are going to apply.
You wake up.
2.0. Yeah, it's all good. So enjoy your weekend. Make sure you subscribe to that, and then
we're making your Mondays a little bit better, just like a tiny bit better.
It's a good way to kick off the week.
So but we'll be pushing it around on socials and email. So stay tuned for our product hunt launch.
Awesome, real cool. Let's see any other questions. Okay, let's just cover some comments here. This is crazy. Can't wait to see what you guys do. Jeremy said, you guys are reading my mind, was about to start building something to add accessibility structuring, but now you can do it with this. When's the next Relume Rumble? I will get to that.
Yeah. Coming.
This is really righteous, guys. 2.0's execution is really thorough, really well done.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, this would be so much easier for the client. Training is always tiring, always tiresome, showing the client how to use reuse components, all that stuff. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's huge.
And also we have a description on the folder where you can add a link to Loom videos, and you can almost like set it up so you have like a link out to the Loom video or the Figma file. Yeah, you can provide documentation there for the client as well. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how people start using this.
Yes. Speaking of that, so down probably in the next month or so, let us know. Join the Slack channel. It's in the description on YouTube. And then just reach out to us on how you guys are using this new update and sharing the libraries and things like that. Because we actually want to bring you guys onto the live stream and promote your workflow. So that's some announcements. Let's see here. We're also going to be introducing like a new segment in the live streams where, like I said, we'll bring you guys on for like either we'll bring you on or we will highlight some of your work and just to kind of celebrate all the Loomers and what you guys are doing. So another announcement is Component Day. With all these big changes, we also are releasing Component Days, right? So that's August 1st as well.
Correct. Yeah.
How many components?
Oh, by the way, this is all this launch day is on Component Day, right? So yeah, that's when we'll be doing our biggest releases, and we thought that it just makes sense to launch this on Component Day. So Component Day is on the 1st of August.
Cool.
There will be like some additional stuff, but this is the main thing. Untitled UI components as well.
270 Untitled UI components is part of Component Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Josh is back, and he's gone.
I don't know what's going on here. Okay, another announcement. Relume Rumble. It was a success, so we want to do it again, and we're going to aim to do it every month. So we're going to do it at the end of the month, so that means it'll be end of August. So we're looking for contenders. We're looking for other community groups out there, design community groups. So reach out to me on Twitter, and we want to see who the next champ is. So that's going to be really fun. And next week, we have Jordan Hughes coming on the show. So we want to get to know his story, how he's the guy who is behind Untitled UI. He built good books. We want to talk about what other current projects he's working on. So that's going to be really exciting. So that's it. That was a lot. So anything else, guys, that you guys want to add before we wrap up?
Upvote on Product Hunt. That would really help us on Monday. I sound very desperate, but that's the last plug I have.
Well, yeah, if we're the number one product, that means more people making community libraries. That's better for everyone.
Yeah.
So
100%. So that's it. The more people that see it, the better for everyone.
Awesome, guys. All right. Stay productive. Stay awesome. Stay Relume. We'll see you guys next week, guys. Bye-bye.
See ya.